Well, what a huge day of 49ers news. And I don't think anybody really expected it to be this monumental, but that means that our evening recap show, our 10th video of the day, is going to be a special one because we get to go back through everything, have some fun, prepare your questions, and there might be something different about the room that you can notice. Does anybody notice anything different about the room versus the other videos? Go ahead and drop that into the chat section right now. I'll divulge it in just a few minutes. I don't think that it's that hard to spot, but hopefully you do notice the change, which I've made especially for this video. And I'll explain after somebody notices why I made the change. So, welcome in. It is a beautiful Monday night. It's actually 10 o'clock where I am here in Nashville, Tennessee, 8 o'clock Pacific time zone. So we might still have some 49ers news hit. It wouldn't surprise me if something happened. Nothing will surprise me anymore, given how crazy today has been. This is from Schultz Report. Keep an eye out on 49ers cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. Have spoken with two playoff teams today who like him. I'm also told Mosley will be 100% for training camp. Only 26 years old. He had a pick six as well as 5 pass breakups and 1 tackle for loss before suffering a torn ACL last season. So Emmanuel Mosley, apparently he will be ready for training camp. Jordan Schultz reported that online. The 49ers did mention that he had a clean ACL tear, which meant that there weren't any further complications. I believe John Lynch said that back at the NFL Combine, which probably will make Emmanuel Mosley's re-signing with the 49ers a little bit more expensive if it's going to happen. Because if he's going to be ready for training camp, well, that answers one of the big questions that could have potentially given the 49ers discount. So Emmanuel Mosley would be really cornerback layering on top of what the 49ers already have in Charvarius Ward and Deommodore Lenoir. I think if you get Mosley, though, and he is ready for training camp, well, then maybe Deommodore Lenoir can move in, take that slot cornerback job. Because one piece of news that I'm going to cover today is Jimmie Ward leaving to the Houston Texans. All right, let's get through this news here. 49ers and the first day of the legal tampering period. We're going to go through everything here for the 49ers during this legal tampering period. First, they landed a big fish, Javon Hargrave, and that is worthy of a picture up on the screen. Javon Hargrave, the Eagle. Not until, will remain an Eagle until officially Wednesday. And after that, he's going to become a 49er. You talk about an arms race at the top of the NFC. Well, the 49ers just struck a major blow. The defection of Javon Hargrave, 12 sacks last season, 22 sacks over the past 2 years. Any 49er defensive tackle not named Eric Armstead last season combined for 59 quarterback pressures. Javon Hargrave on his own had 66 quarterback pressures last season. This guy's a complete stud. He signed a $84 million contract with the 49ers. It was a 4-year, $84 million deal, which was worth $21 million per year, which happens to be the same exact size as DeForest Buckner's 49ers contract. Same exact size. 4 years, $84 million, 21 per year. It's not DeForest Buckner's 49ers contract. DeForest Buckner's contract when he left the 49ers, the one that he signed with the Colts. Remember, the 49ers traded him in 2021. And ever since then, they have missed his pass rushing presence because Javon Kinlaw has not stayed healthy enough to be able to give the 49ers what they've needed to replace DeForest Buckner. Well, Javon Hargrave is an even better pass rusher than Buckner. So from 2020 to 2022, the 3-season stretch, the 49ers missed Buckner and his pass rushing presence on the inside. They obviously got some good stuff from Eric Armstead and from DJ Jones in the interim. But now they're going to have a bona fide elite interior rusher in Javon Hargrave. And by elite, I mean only Chris Jones and Quinnen Williams had better pass rushing productivity scores in this 2022 season. All right, now we're going to take Hargrave off of the screen, getting on to the next piece of news. Has anybody guessed what is new behind me? Yes, we have a guess. It is correct. Eric Gomes guessed it. Number 9. Niner Faithful guessed it. Number 9. Did anybody else guess it? Okay, guess who that number 9 jersey is? I know I have cinematic mode on the camera, so you could obviously tell the 21 is Frank Gore. Number 9 is not a Niners jersey. It's black. So guess whose jersey that is? If we get a correct guess, then I can move to the next piece of 49ers news. Still waiting. Still waiting. No, it's not a Robbie Gold jersey. It's not a 49ers jersey. I had Rudy Rudiger there, Joe Montana's teammate, like the actual Rudy from Notre Dame there before. So it is not a gold jersey. It is not a Breeze jersey. It's not a Falcons jersey either. Your hint is there was big news involving the 49ers today in a way and the team of the jersey that's behind me. I'll give you another hint. It's a really good punter. It was a really good punter because he's not playing anymore. No, it's not Jimmie Garoppolo. He doesn't wear number 9. It's one of the great punters of all time. It's Shane Lechler. I've got a signed Shane Lechler jersey. So when I got the Frank Gore jersey, my buddy gave me Frank Gore sign. He gave me Shane Lechler sign, and he gave me Rudy Rudiger sign. And then Margot, my fiance, who happens to be watching The Bachelor probably right now. We won't tell on her. She's over in the other room. She got him framed. I normally don't have Lechler in the back, but today I have it in the background because Jimmie Garoppolo is a Raider. Crazy. He joins the long list of ex-49ers to join the Raiders. That list includes Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig, Navarro Bowman, Bill Romanowski. I mean, you could go down the 20-person list of 49ers who have joined the Raiders. So Jimmie Garoppolo is going to be wearing the silver and black. He'll be going from 21, that jersey. He didn't wear 21, but he'll be going from the red and gold to the silver and black. Jimmie Garoppolo, the transition from 49ers to Raiders. Not crossing the bay, though. He's going down to Las Vegas. Jimmie Garoppolo, how about that? Derek Carr's successor at QB with the Raiders. It's a $67.5 million deal as far as base compensation for Jimmie Garoppolo, but there's some heavy incentives there, including over $4 million of per-game roster bonuses and over $4 million of playoff incentives, which mean that the deal can be worth over $75 million if Jimmie Garoppolo hits those incentives. And that means that the deal will be worth $25 million per year or more. It's about where we expected Jimmie Garoppolo to hit on the quarterback pay scale. Derek Carr was in the low 30s, Jimmie Garoppolo in the mid 20s. Garoppolo was at about $27 million per year on his record-breaking deal that he signed with the 49ers in 2018. And we got a tweet from Aaron Rodgers, so I'm just going to take a quick little break here. Aaron Rodgers still trolling. Mike sent me the Aaron Rodgers tweet, but I just wasted my time looking at it. Thanks, Mike. Just kidding. Mike's doing a great job. I thought that Aaron Rodgers had made a decision based on Twitter. The Jets must be so pissed off right now. But anyway, he had Derek Carr in the low 30s, Jimmie Garoppolo in the mid 20s, gets a nice contract from the Raiders. He gets paid. 49ers are set up to get a comp pick because we saw the 49ers lose both Jimmie Garoppolo and Mike McGlinchey today. I'm looking for my text title for Mike McGlinchey. Where do we have that one? Did I delete the Mike McGlinchey one? That's crazy. Mike McGlinchey to Denver for $17.4 million APY. And that is up there now. Boom. Can't believe that I wasn't able to get that up there a little bit sooner. So McGlinchey got paid by Denver. Garoppolo paid by the Raiders. 49ers lose 2 starters or 2 starting caliber players who are going to be starting, obviously, with their new teams. And the 49ers picked up one big fish today. That was Javon Hargrave, one of those comp picks will be canceled out by the fact that the 49ers did pick up Hargrave, but because the 49ers today lost more players than they gained through the compensatory formula, you can expect another third-round pick to come their way next year in the 2024 draft. But both McGlinchey and Jimmie Garoppolo are gone. Hargrave is a 49er. Jimmie Garoppolo is a Raider. So that silver and black, we'll put that Leckler jersey up there for this show since we're talking about a recap to a busy first day of the legal tampering period. We've got some MVP odds. Josh Dubow just tweeted this from a sports book, the FT Sportsbook. Trey Lance plus 2,500, Derek Carr plus 4,000, Jimmie Garoppolo plus 5,000, Brock Purdy plus 7,500. So Trey Lance has better MVP odds than Brock Purdy and also better MVP odds than Derek Carr or Jimmie Garoppolo. But Jimmie Garoppolo has better MVP odds than Brock Purdy. That will be fascinating to track this next season. The musical chairs have just begun at the quarterback position. Last year, Jimmie Garoppolo was left standing after the game of musical chairs due to the shoulder surgery. This season, Jimmie Garoppolo was signed on the first day of free agency. Before free agency even happened. Legal tampering period for over $20 million. There's a lot of people saying that he wouldn't get that kind of money, but he definitely did get that kind of money. Kevin Givens back with San Francisco as we move along to the next piece of news. Givens, $2.1 million, $2 million of it isn't guaranteed. The 49ers, nice rotational depth at defensive tackle. They're weak at defensive tackle to open the day. They're stronger at defensive tackle to close the day. Javon Hargrave and Kevin Givens are the two defensive tackles that have been brought aboard for this 2023 season. Givens will be a rotational player. Hargrave is obviously going to be a starter with that pass rushing prowess up front. Sam Darnold is now in the 49ers quarterback room. How about that? If I would have told you on January 1st, the only 49ers fully cleared quarterback on the roster come mid-March, March 15th, would be Sam Darnold, your jaw would have dropped. You would have looked at me like I was crazy. But that is indeed the case. Sam Darnold is the 49ers' third quarterback. I don't know if he's QB3, but he's the third quarterback because they have Brock Purdy, they have Trey Lance on the roster. Sam Darnold is now part of the football team as well. Now, Darnold's best football of his 5-year NFL career came this past season when he played for $18.8 million in Carolina. Over 7 adjusted net yards per attempt, the lowest interception rate of his career, and just a really strong overall performance, especially relative to what we had seen before from Sam Darnold, I think gave the 49ers some belief that this could be a good quarterback to insulate the room with numbers. Darnold can outcompete with Trey Lance over the course of the offseason. He's very talented. In fact, Darnold and Lance are both former number 3 overall picks. Kyle Shanahan's got to be loving this. He's got value in the quarterback room because Darnold certainly won't be making the $18.8 million that he did last year. We're still waiting for the cap number on Sam Darnold because that hasn't come out yet. But when it does, I'll certainly share it with you because I can tell you that Javon Hargrave, 49ers have worked some cap magic there. His hit's only $6.6 million this year. Salary cap update, by the way, coming soon. First, we got to finish off the transactions. Jimmie Ward is off to Houston. I think it's fitting that a coaching staff that's familiar with Jimmie Ward through his 9 years in San Francisco, DeMeco Ryans' coaching staff with the Texans, has made sure to bring him into that new franchise. Jimmie Ward was the longest tenured 49er. His tenure with the team goes back to Jim Harbaugh's time as coach in 2014. So when Ward leaves, and that's going to happen officially on Wednesday, the last remaining link to the Harbaugh era will be gone. But Ward survived 4 coaching staffs. He survived Harbaugh, he survived Tom Sula, he survived Chip Kelly, and obviously he was re-signed a couple times under Kyle Shanahan. So Jimmie Ward is a guy who knows how to endear himself to a coaching staff. He's a good football player who's played at every single position of the secondary, played 115 games regular season in the playoffs with the 49ers, and their fans should wish him well because he was a good 49ers over those 9 years. But it is fitting that he is going, as somebody who's impressed a lot of coaching staffs in his career, he is getting his next job thanks in large part to the fact that he endeared himself to this 49ers coaching staff, which is now partly with the Texans and D'Amico Ryans. Those of you who guessed the New Jersey, good job. That was my next text title. I went through the transactions today on the 49ers side, and I'm about to talk about the 49ers' remaining needs before we go back and talk about some of this other stuff in more detail. The remaining needs they're going to have to satisfy with the salary cap space that they still have, and maybe they're going to have to make a couple salary cap maneuvers, because this is what the 49ers' salary cap situation currently looks like. If you want to take a look at my salary cap sheet, I'm copying this and I'm pasting this in the chat section. Go ahead and smash that like button as well. We'll tell Eric Gomes to put his comment up on the screen. Actually, I did that, but let's go back to 49ers remaining needs. As you can see here, I'm accounting for the cap on a 53-man sheet, and I have the 49ers at $2.6 million over. They saved a lot of money this year with Javon Hargrave's cap hit being as small as it is, $6.6 million. That is some artistry mathematically from Parag Marathe. So the 49ers are going to have to do something to open up some space by the time the new league year starts on Wednesday. How are they going to do that? Well, you can restructure players. On this sheet right here, I've already restructured. I thought I had restructured Christian McCaffrey. I got to take that back. I got to put Bosa back at his original number. Fred Warner's there, and maybe Charvarius Ward back at his original $16 million number. As you can see, the 49ers well over the cap on the Build Your Roster sheet, which you can access online as well. But if we look at the standard salary cap sheet without any of the extra bells and whistles, they're a tiny bit over, because this is measured against that 53-man cap. So the 49ers are going to have to find a veteran, convert his base salary into signing bonus, and prorate that cap number into the future. They're going to have to run some financial Tetris, so they have time to address some of those remaining needs. What might those be? Well, some people are saying edge rusher opposite Nick Bosa. And that's great. I don't know if the 49ers are going to have money to do it, though. If they don't, then I think they can get some budget options that are going to thrive, because Chris Kasarik is going to be their head coach, and Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead are going to be eating up blocks. But I really do think that John Lynch was serious a couple of weeks ago when he talked about how big of a deal this season's going to be for Drake Jackson. The 49ers are reliant on Drake Jackson to emerge this season. You've got to come through at some point with those draft picks. And I think when you look at Jackson in a NASCAR package, the 49ers call it the Lightning package, with players like Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave, and Eric Armstead, you see that, and you see a lot of one-on-ones for Drake Jackson. He puts on some strength this offseason. It's going to be a scary 49ers pass rush. We can talk 2019-esque pass rush. So one more time, take a look at this 49ers cap situation. Where do you adjust? Well, it's probably easier to see where you can adjust through this, because this is where the restructures can happen. You can see a potential restructure for Christian McCaffrey. You can see a potential restructure for somebody like Nick Bosa would be an extension, but it would act as a restructure. You could see a potential restructure for Fred Warner and for Charvarius Ward. They already restructured George Kittle and Eric Armstead last season. But here's the thing. Those restructures came on Tuesday of this week last year, so I would expect the 49ers, if they need to do some shuffling, to do that at around the same time this year, before they need to be cap compliant on Wednesday. All right, moving on. 49ers remaining needs. We talked about the defensive line. I think they can handle a lot of stuff in the draft. They still need to do more along the offensive line. If we looked at the 49ers depth chart right now, probably a good time to do so. You will see that they are still thin up front offensively. And I am a firm believer of the truth, because I believe it's a truth. They cannot win a Super Bowl until they further upgrade their offensive line. Now, they have been upgrading their offensive line in recent seasons. Progress has been made. Let's be honest on that front. Let's not skewer the 49ers too much. But they still ran into a bit of a wall against guys like Javon Hargrave, who's now on their team, and the Dallas Cowboys in the postseason. Micah Parsons also commented about the 49ers picking up Hargrave. You could tell a lot of teams want to be in the 49ers shoes right now after some of the signings that they've made. But anyway, I digress. The 49ers offensive line needs to get better, even if Javon Hargrave is now on their team. And maybe facing Hargrave in training camp is going to be some of the medicine that this line needs to take that next step. But if you look at the 49ers roster right here, you will see that that defensive line is looking a lot better than it did yesterday. Bosa, Armstead, Hargrave, Jackson across, Givens, Kinlaw, Barrett, maybe another edge rusher to really help the depth at that five technique spot or that Leo spot. Kalia Davis is also on this depth chart, but he's an unproven player. Kinlaw now a reserve, which I think is a much better use for where he's at currently with his knee. But if you look at the offensive line, that's definitely a remaining need. If the season were to start today, this is what it would look like. Trent Williams at left tackle, Aaron Banks at left guard, Keith Ishmael at center. I think the 49ers favor him because he started games. He's a veteran over Zakelin and Poe. Burford at right guard and Colton McKivitz at right tackle. I think the 49ers still want to host some competition here with McKivitz at right tackle, and I think they definitely want a center. They've been talking with Jake Brendel about that. But the issue is that Brendel has a lot of suitors, so it might not be all too easy to re-sign him. We'll see, though. That is one of the 49ers' remaining needs. They did take care of that quarterback need with Sam Darnold today. How about that? How about we play some more Sam Darnold video? Because I love playing this one clip. I think it really shows what the 49ers have athletically in Sam Darnold. They're going to try to make off-schedule plays like this whenever they're needed. They're going to try to make that the consistent offering from Sam Darnold. Obviously, they don't want to have to use him. But last year, the 49ers did have to go through 4 quarterbacks. So there's a good chance they're going to have to use Sam Darnold at some point. And this guy's athletic. This guy can move, and that's a hell of a throw. Crossbody flick of the wrist for the touchdown against the 49ers in 2020. So what's the most intriguing signing for you? Why don't we ask some questions? Do you like Hargrave? Do you like Sam Darnold? Are you happy that Kevin Givens is back? I'm guessing most people will say Javon Hargrave. But I'll also say that there are remaining needs for the 49ers, and I'm really interested to see how they restructure their cap situation to shuffle around the finances and the dollars so they have enough money to make things work here moving forward into tomorrow and then especially into Wednesday. Question time here on the channel. By the way, like the video, sub to the channel. It's time to do so. We got the Raiders jersey in the background today. Jimmie Garoppolo is now a Raider. That's the Shane Leckler jersey next to Frank Gore. Thank you. Gain Hargrave, lose Garoppolo, Jimmie Ward, and McGlinchey. Prediction for compensatory picks. I don't know the formula. I don't know how to do that, but they're going to gain more picks than they lost. That's for sure. Because Ward and McGlinchey are going to be in the plus column, and Jimmie Garoppolo obviously is going to be Ward, McGlinchey, and Garoppolo are going to be in the plus column. Hargrave is going to be in the minus column. Thank you, sir. People, very exciting. Excited about Hargrave. Isaac Medrano, excited about that. And the re-signing of Tashawn Gibson that happened on Sunday. That led to the departure of Jimmie Ward because they certainly weren't going to offer Jimmie Ward as a safety. Ward, by the way, ended up getting, I think, $6.5 million per year from the Houston Texans, which is going to be more than the 49ers were willing to pay for that nickelback position. I think they want to go under $5 million for that. I think they, have been talking to Trey Herndon. I saw a report today. So that's the type of nickelback they're looking for. Probably somebody more along the lines $2 to $4 million per year. Not as expensive as Ward was today going to the Texans. Oh, water is good. We had a great dinner tonight. Margot did a great job. It was awesome. She cooked some shrimp and sweet potatoes. And then we had these pears with ice cream for dessert. It's really good. Could feel it in my stomach, but I'm satisfied right now. Ready to talk football, give Mike some love. He's the GOAT of mods. Mike was at my engagement party the other day. That was fun. On Saturday. In case Margot's watching on her phone, which she probably isn't while she's watching The Bachelor. Nice job. She'll get a little shout out on the show. It's usually like one of her friends tells her, hey, you got a shout out on the show the other night. She's like, oh, really? That's nice. But I don't know if she's going to see that herself. So that's good. We'll keep it there. My favorite Nickelback song. Gosh, I don't know. Give me some time. I'll think. Armstead is now the longest tenured 49ers player. That's right. They drafted him the year after Jimmie Ward in 2015. That was the first year of Jim Tomsula. Isaac Medrano. Rush over cover. Here we come. Are you sure? Looks like they're going back to, rush. Yeah. I thought you said cover over rush. Rush over cover. It's going to be back to rush over cover with Javon Hargrave and Nick Bosa mean, we saw cover over rush here. Really, the 49ers were a balanced defense and that their linebackers have been so good. I mean, this is the number one defense that added Javon Hargrave. It's going to be something to deal with. I think they should be the number one defense again next season. Tommy, you've been engaged since 2016. When are you getting married? It's a long time. I'm not judging. I'm just wondering. Appreciate you, John. Good stuff. And the 49ers do have some hands in the DB room. Azeez Al-Shire did not sign with the team yet, but he essentially said goodbye to the 49ers today on Instagram. Man, what a day it was. We're going to go through some graphics, let the show grow a little bit. Only 25 minutes in. So much happened today. I got some time to kill because The Bachelor's on outside. I don't want to watch that. So I got some time to kill right now. Let's put this up. Check out that. I got to adjust my chair so you guys can check out the 49ers depth chart. Azeez Al-Shire no longer on it. You can judge what the 49ers remaining needs are. Kicker, I think one of them as well. Kicker, definitely a remaining 49ers need this year. Going to have to find a way to either re-sign Robbie Gould. Now that you got a really, I think you got a championship caliber roster if you're the 49ers. Now that you have Javon Hargrave in there. They still they have draft picks, right? They have 11 draft picks still to use. They're going to use them. I don't know who they're going to use them on. I think it's you look at this sheet again, the tight end room is thin. This is a deep tight end draft class. So you can really make sure that you load up with the draft at the tight end position, find a pairing for George Kittle. But I think let's put in Sam Darnold as depth 2 at the quarterback position. Only quarterback who's not shaded in red. Running back, you're set for now. Receiver, I think you're set for now. Tight end, yeah, you used some of those draft picks, at least one of them on a tight end. Offensive line, you're not set for now. You got to add at least 2 or 3 more linemen, see what happens with Daniel Brunskill. He might be testing the market a little bit, but the 49ers do want to bring him back. Defensive line, I don't think you're set. I think you're going to use the draft and maybe some bargain bin free agency, but you made your big splash today with Javon Hargrave. Linebacker, you're set. You're the best in the league. Cornerback, I think you're set at the starting positions with Ward and Lenore, but you could use more depth, so we'll see what happens with Emmanuel Mosley. Nickelback right now, Samuel Womack is at the top of the pecking order, but Jimmie Ward is gone, so you trust Womack with that job? We'll see. It's going to be one with it's an important job because slot receivers command so much attention these days. Offensively, I mean, they're targeted so often. Cooper Kupp is in the division. So it's really important that the 49ers get this right at the nickelback position. Give Jimmie Ward a lot of credit for being a professional and picking the position up so effectively last year. 49ers might still make a signing. They might move a draftee in there. They might move Deommodore Lenore there. But I think that still involves bulking up the cornerback position. And then they're set at safety, at least along the front line, by bringing back Deshaun Gibson. 49ers now have exactly 53 spots taken on their 90-man roster. So they still have a lot of filling out to do. The good news is that over the course of the offseason, only the top 51 spots count against the salary cap. So they're going to be able to more or less efficiently maneuver with the cap moving forward. Might have to free up some space with the restructures I talked about, but that is about it. All right, so I have some good graphics that I want to show you today. We are going to go to my Twitter because that's usually where I post them. It's such a busy day. I mean, we could scroll through the Twitter feed here and just kind of relive the day, but that would take a while. I'm only on Darnold right now, and I've scrolled a little bit. I just want to get this D-line performance chart up. This is the 49ers defensive line last year. This is relating to both Kevin Givens, who's back with the 49ers on a one-year deal, and Javon Hargrave. who's back on a 4-year deal. Same deal as DeForest Buckner. And since the 49ers have lost DeForest Buckner, the interior rush has eroded. Eroded even further when they lost DJ Jones. Blue is good, red is bad. Look how much red there is here under the dividing line. That is the interior rush. This is why they brought Hargrave aboard, to fix this. They need less red, and they feel that he's going to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. We have a quick little word here from Mike. Oh, he's saying that Jason from Over the Cap has some of his contract grades. Didn't like the Hargrave deal, but he liked the Tashawn Gibson deal, which is $2.17 million in guarantees, 1 year, $2.9 million for Tashawn Gibson, the safety. Yeah, that was a really good value contract, even though he's going to be 33 years old. That's one that we talked about on Sunday night. All right, let's go on back to the questions. I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing now. I should get my glass of wine, but left it in another room. We'll drink the wine later after the show. Scrolling down, where are we at with the questions? No reports about Caleb McGarry. I haven't seen anything on that front yet. No. Someone call the UTSA head coach because that's where Spencer Burford went. I love it. Send the 49ers some ready-made offensive linemen. Sam Darnold, born in San Juan Capistrano, or born in Orange County, San Clemente, USC. You're born in Capistrano Beach is what you said. Sorry, I was reading that wrong. Capistrano Beach, high school at San Clemente, college at USC, and now he will be a quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think McGlinchey was a massive loss because he was above average run and pass blocker, but I think the 49ers believe they could find at least above average pass protection from other members of the roster. McKivitz actually graded out as a better pass blocker over a smaller sample size than Mike McGlinchey last year. I do think there's a good chance the 49ers trade into the top 2 rounds. I don't know if they will, but I think there's a good chance. Maybe get an offensive lineman with some of those picks. I'll make a performance chart for the Eagles, and they were really good. Hargrave would have been in the dark blue. Pass rushing wise, it might have been a little bit worse run defense wise. He's more of a pass rusher than a run defender, but only 2 pass rushers had a higher score in pass rush productivity in the entire NFL out of defensive tackles than Javon Hargrave this season. And those were 2 recognizable names: Chris Jones from the Chiefs and Quinnen Williams from the Jets. You think Sam Darnold will be great in this offense if he's needed? He'll have a chance to compete. Again, I don't think the 49ers just bring in players that tell him to be backups. They say, hey, you're going to have a shot. And he should have a shot. Trey Lance is unproven. Darnold's a 3rd pick overall, just like Trey Lance. And Brock Purdy just had elbow surgery. So 49ers should be in a good spot. All right. It was a great day for the 49ers. Hope this wrapped it up well. Going right back through it one more time. The 49ers were able to keep Javon Hargrave's cap hit ridiculously low after he signed an $84 million deal. Poetically, same size and length of DeForest Buckner's deal with the Colts. Hargrave is a 49er. They've landed the big fish. Jimmie Garoppolo is a Raider, hence the Shane Leckler jersey behind me. Kevin Givens is back with the 49ers. Sam Darnold is in the 49ers quarterback room. Jimmy Ward is off to Houston. And Mike McGlinchey is in Denver. It's going to be another busy day for the 49ers tomorrow. Some restructuring is probably going to happen ahead of the new league year start on Wednesday. And maybe we're going to have some more signings for the 49ers as they have hit free agency with a bang. You have to say, are you not entertained? Because that is what the 49ers have given us so far on this first day of the legal tampering period. Everybody, like the video, sub to the channel, and sub to The Athletic because we got our free agency tracker right here. Go ahead and check that out. I'm copying and pasting it. I'm putting this into the chat section. And if you want to build your own roster, I think you should do that too. You can click on David Lombardi here, go to the home page, and you could go to build your own 49ers 2023 roster. That has helped a lot of people visualize, conceptualize what's going on here during free agency. All right, I have to tell you, it's been a busy day for me. I did not one, video-wise, I did not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight. I feel like LeBron at this point. Not 9, 10 videos today. More coming tomorrow. So sub to the channel. This is as in-depth as it's going to get. And we have a ton of stuff up on The Athletic. This is the roster builder that you need to subscribe to as well. In exchange for the hard work here, I would love a subscribe on YouTube and to The Athletic, or maybe at that link there through the roster builder. All right, guys, everybody take care. It's been fun. We'll see you very, very soon. Have a good night after an epic 49ers day. Bye now.